Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Hard Hitting Wrestling Show, the HHWShow Podcast, presented by CMG Sports Podcast Network. Visit HHWShow.com to hear the latest episodes and our predictions and fantasy tournaments. You got that and much, much more on the Hard Hitting Wrestling Show website. But we have a special guest today. Yes, man, he is one half of a tag team champion. But before we even introduce him, okay, we gotta do a little background. And it's the year of 1996. Now, in the WWE, which back then was still WWF, by the way, Shawn Michaels was the heavyweight champion. And if it wasn't until November of 96 that the Psycho Kid actually defeated Shawn Michaels and he became champion, but not for long though, because then Shawn Michaels ended up getting it back. But what else happened in 1996 in your end?
Well, over there in WCW side, Hollywood Hulk Hogan defeated the Giant to become the World Heavyweight Champion on August 10th of 1996 in Sturgis Road. Yep, in Sturgis, South Dakota. It was Hog Wild was the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, then let me see what else happened. Wow, you know what? Something else happened. I think you mentioned a device earlier about that, right? What devices came out during that time?
Talking about hitting the market in 96, the Nintendo 64. Yes.
Dude, Nintendo 64. I don't think anyone in today's generation, they gotta be as old as us to know what a Nintendo 64 is.
And that was a big upgrade from the Nintendo when you had to blow on it, slap that
blow
thing
on
in
the
there.
Cartridge and shake it off.
Exactly. And then the 64 came out. It was just a big old thing right there, baby. Yeah.
Nah, but something else awesome happened in 1996. And the specific date was September 3rd, 1996, when Traevon Jordan was born, man. And this guy is a rising star along with his tag team partner. We're going to mention them both, but the one half of the Northeast Tag Team Champion will be with us shortly right after this video package. Welcome, Trey. What's going on?
What's going on, man? Thank you, brothers, both for having me here on the show. It's been a long time coming, but I'm glad to be here on the HHW Podcast. As they had stated before, my name is Traevon Jordan, one half of the Northeast Wrestling Tag Team Champions, one half of the Top Rope Promotions Tag Team Champions. Nothing but tag team championships going through our veins and through our blood. We all waves and curls. I am curls, currently a little bit nappy mixed in there, but that's okay. So we're doing what we can, gentlemen. We're doing what we can. You know what I'm saying? You guys doing
That's right. It's a long time, man. Long time coming because, Trey, you and I have been talking, I think maybe a few months after I started being a regular of Northeast Wrestling to have you on the show, but our schedule's been conflicting and everything else. It's just been busy.
Yeah, for a while, man. Like I said, ever since I first mentioned that day at Northeast Wrestling, I think it was one of our first shows, maybe Holiday Havoc or the one right after that. We kind of just hit the ground running after that, booked and busy all 2019, 2020, 2021, not even into 2022, you know. So I'm glad I finally was able to put aside some time to spend time with you two gentlemen and chop it up. And, you know, get to the core of what Traevon Jordan is and what the core of HHW is, too. I might have some questions for y'all, too. You know?
Oh, yeah. Man, I love it. I'm already loving it. Well, that HHW is hard-hitting because hard-hitting really represents the truth. We speaking it real, all right? Even though Frank Cuesta, who is also have a podcast called Speaking It Real, he's not with us. But, hey, if you're watching, much love for you. But, Trey, you are from Bridgeport, Connecticut, born and raised in Bridgeport, Connecticut, right?
I am born and raised in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Resided in the North End all through my years. Only went up to Providence once I graduated from high school and went on to college. I like to say I left to Rhode Island because it was close enough to home where I can go back in an emergency, but it was far enough away I could establish my little home in Rhode Island. So I love Bridgeport, man. The city is beautiful. So many up and coming emerging artists and talent in that city. There's so much that comes out of that, even more than what people initially may think. You know, we had crime rates and things like that going on in the city, but there's so many beautiful things coming out of the city. I'm blessed to at least be a small part of that. So yeah, love Bridgeport, 110% to the day that I die.
Man, it's about like 35 to 40 minutes away from where I'm at here in East Hartford. But I can't say nothing about Hector because he's in like the Lone Star State over there.
Way down there, yeah. As big as we all way down there.
Seriously.
So how did you and Jalen Brandon like click together to form Waves and Curls?
So we both first met up at the Kingdom Training School that was under, at the time, Vinny Marseglia, who was the leader of the Righteous over at Ring of Honor and all those good things, and Matt Taven, Ring of Honor and Impact Wrestling star. We both trained at the same time. He started like maybe 2 or 3 months before I did, and then I came a little bit later. And ever since that first day we kind of met at training, he was a little bit more quiet and reserved. I was a little bit more outspoken and outgoing, but we kind of had that same-ish personality where we like to joke around a lot. We listen to the same music and everything like that. So it was initially like a friendship from Jump Street. We kind of had that baseline. And once we got in the ring together, everything kind of started moving like butter. And we kind of clicked initially, you know, whenever we would do drills together. So we figured, why not see what else we can do with this, and kind of develop the tag team from there.
I met Jalen first before I met you, Trey, because you was MIA. Okay. I'm here looking at the table booth, you know, and he's selling the, you know, the autographs, the shirts, and this is where I got my shirt from. All right. It was from him, not from you. And I was like, well, you a tag team. Where your partner at? I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyways,
I think
fast forward there.
Waves and Curls is because it's very rare that you'll always catch the two of us together at the same moment. Either he's running and doing something, or I'm running and doing something. So you just caught the chance where he's at the table by himself, because it's usually me holding down the fort. He usually running off doing his little pretty boy thing, and I'm holding down. You got the win off right there. You had a unique experience. That's what we'll call it.
All right, unique experience, absolutely.
Hey, his partner had to hold down the table sooner or later, right, Trey? You
had to, right? It's about time to pull the weight. You know.
There you go.
Speaking about the title, Waves and Curls, how'd y'all come up with the name?
So it was funny because before our first tag team match, we were stressing for like a month beforehand. We were like, we don't know what we're gonna do for a name. We don't know, you know, what kind of best encapsulates our experience and what we bring to the table. So we were stressing, and one of our training partners, the Big Ragu, he's a big Italian mobster, had the thick accent. He was like, you know what? You got waves, looking at Jalen. You got curls, looking at me. Why don't we put 2 and 2 together? Waves and curls. It's like spaghetti and meatballs, like garlic bread and butter. I was like, you're really going off right now. Like, yeah, that's it. We used that ever since. So I can't thank him enough, because it's the name that's our brand now. We love it through and through. So, yeah, he came up with the name for us, and thank God he did. I'll make sure once we get the contracts, he's going to get his 10% right off the top. Right off the top, even.
It's catchable, man. The title itself is catchable. I mean, Waves and Curls. When you think about Waves and Curls, you think about Jalen and Trey. That's it. Nothing else. You don't think about the hairdo or anything else. I mean, because eventually, like, Waves and Curls. Well, why Waves and Curls? Now I'm looking at you both. You don't. Well, you do got the. Well, you got a little bit of everything, I guess.
I do. Here's the thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to curls, I had much more short, tameable curls when I first started.
Oh, okay.
As the career went on and I got a little bit older, hair got longer. The management of the curls got a little bit long. Anybody who has curls knows it's a process. And I don't got time for that every show. I really don't. I do the best that I can. But wash and go routine, it takes a lot. So Some days you get curls, some days you get naps. Either way, we still gonna keep it waves and curls for the name.
Hey, I like it.
I appreciate you.
It works perfectly, you know.
There we go. Heck,
what kind of nickname you think me and Ovi would have? I mean, I don't got no hair. He's got hair, so I don't know.
I just got a haircut, man. I don't even know why you trying to put me on the spot there, man.
Helping Caesar over there. That's what
Oh, here we go. That's it. You know what? We're gonna change our name. Go ahead, give us a name, Trey.
That's it. Scalping Caesar. Welcome to the Scalping Caesar Wrestling.
Scalping Caesar. There we go. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh boy.
So Trey, you told us about how you got the name Waves and Curls. Please, can you enlighten us how Whitney Houston came about with this as your entrance thing? Because I mean, I'm digging it now, but I'm gonna be honest with you. When I first heard about it, I was like, okay, how is this gonna fit for a tag team like this? You know, at the caliber you are now, especially a tag team. But when I started watching your matches, you got the crowd going. Wow. I mean, they're ecstatic and they just on their feet dancing and having a great time. So yeah, how did Whitney Houston come about with this?
So I could play off a couple of different aspects with that. I love that the fans gravitate towards the music as well too, because it was a whole presentation that we kind of laid out for them to come and enjoy with us. You know, everything that we do in the ring, you know, and you've seen it at the NEW shows. We try to include the fans in as much as possible because they're not there to just sit on their hands and just watch us perform movements and jump around and do whatnot. We want them to be a part of every experience that we have, because without them, what do we have? What do we have to play towards? Absolutely nothing. They're the most important driving force in everything that we do. So we got to come out to the Whitney. So they're having a good time. They see us having a good time. And we're going to go in there and kick some you-know-what together. You know what I'm saying? Every punch we throw, they do it with us. So that's the baseline on that. For the Whitney Houston song, it's funny because Whitney actually started out as my singles theme before we were even a tag team. It was my debut theme for Top Rope Promotions back in 2019. And I remember before the debut, I was kind of stressing. I was like, I don't know what kind of song I'm going to come out to. I don't know what I can use. I thought of a few different ones. I thought of Return of the Mac by Mac Morrison, which also that came out in 1996. Great year. I also thought about, you know, TLC Scrubs, just because, hey, that's a fire song, and a whole bunch of others. But I was at home with my mom, and she was like, don't worry. It'll come to you. It'll be fine. One of those days you just listen to mom. All right, she's right. It'll come to me. We're watching the show together that same exact night, and a commercial comes on. It was an Amazon Music commercial, and it was just a pair of lips on the screen. They start singing the song, "Oh, I Want to Dance with Somebody."
I know exactly what you're talking about now.
And my mom starts dancing, and I start dancing with her. And I was like, you know what? That's the one. Because I saw how it made my mother react. I saw what it brought out in me. I was like, it can give that same experience to a whole entire venue, a whole entire crowd, no matter the size. So it's all because of my mama, you know? Song for mama, boys to men. That's what it's all about, you know?
Mama knows best.
That's it. She always does. Never steered me in the direction. So that's where it all came from. Love for mom. Always, like all things, you know what I'm saying?
What is so unique about your entrance is the music's out. So once that first note, when Whitney Houston starts saying it, right? Everyone's already on their feet. Now, I don't know if you notice, because you guys don't immediately come out. You just pop out of nowhere once that first beat comes out. But people are already standing. Oh, and then everyone's like, Waves and Curls. And even it don't matter the age. All right. Everyone's on their feet. And then boom, you come out. And then the perfect part is the confetti. So you have the confetti, and there's a certain point of the song when you just let it out and it goes popping. But then I'm like, is there somebody else popping also? Or is like that one I'm still trying to figure out. Even like 3 years being in North Carolina, I'm like, I saw you do it. Who else did it? What's going on? So is that planned, or that's like somebody was like, yo, that's a fan. They're popping
fans doing their own, which I think is the most beautiful thing. And I love it. But man, it make for a big cleanup at the end of the night, you know? It really does.
Absolutely.
I like to still clean up the confetti. It's kind of like a humbling, grounding thing for me, you know? I don't want anybody else to sweep it up because this is still my due. You know, I have to do it. So I'm grounded. I don't think I'm above anybody else. I don't think I'm better than anybody else. I made the mess. I got to clean it up. Word to my mother. Just like she said when I was growing up, you make the mess, you clean it. I'm not going to have somebody else pushing around a broom for me. That's not the right way to go about everything. So I make sure I get the broom out and I broom it out. But man, when they do that extra confetti, it take a lot.
They don't stick around with you, don't they?
Right. Because I'll do my one, boom, and then boom, boom, boom. Next thing you know, 5, 6, 10, 11, 12 cannons done went off. And all I'm thinking in the back of my mind is, it's cool, but I'm going to be here a little bit later tonight.
Oh, man. But you know what? Another part that's so unique is, and we're going to get to your championship match, okay? But I saw it there, and I also saw it a few months back while y'all were champions in Bethany, Connecticut, where you guys main evented, and at the end, I think you had Jay Lethal as a 6-man tag, and at the end, all the youngsters came in the middle of the ring, and everyone was dancing to your theme song. I thought it was fabulous. Even my own son was on there, and I'm jealous. I'm like, wait a minute, I've never been inside a ring. Here's my son in the middle of the ring dancing with waves and curls. Yeah. All right. That's what's up. But that's a moment that even today he still talks about it. Dad, remember when I was in the ring and this and that? And I'm like, okay, yep. All right. I got you. Who knows? Maybe I have a future wrestling superstar or something like that. Right. But I got you and your partner to blame. Not to blame, but I'll be like, to be thankful. How about that?
Yeah. You can still see blame too, though. You can say that ain't nothing wrong with that.
Keeping it positive. Blame is such as like a negative word, you know, like you blame him or something. But no, it's a very, very positive.
You know what? To make it fair for Ovi next time, Trey, you find your opponent, throw your opponent at Ovi, so at least he can say Trey threw somebody at me. You know, make him feel wanted. You know, I mean, we don't want no.
You sound like you got hey, throw him a bone or something. Here's a confetti. Here's a confetti.
You know.
No.
Next time I get the confetti cannon, boom.
There you go. Right all over his hair.
That's it. I put it through the season. That's it.
There you go.
Through the season. That's it.
Hector, you know what happens when you don't stick to the script?
Gosh, here we go.
Uh-oh.
You know what? Nah, that sounds like Chris Jericho. But anyways. Oh, now he's gone.
Nah. I made the list. Yeah.
No.
That moment you had talked about us bringing everybody into the ring. I like doing stuff like that. You want to make a special moment for the kids, right? Even when I first started, I used to have a headband that my mom gave me, and I would tie it. And during matches, I would take it off and tell a kid, you know, hey, you hold on to this for me. You're going to be the good luck for us in the match. Small stuff like that, so you give them a lasting memory. Tupac used to say, I might not be the mind that could change the world, but I could spark the mind that might change the world. I might never be the best wrestler in the world, but I'm going to try my best to. But even if I don't become the best wrestler in the world, I want to at least spark the mind of the person who might be able to be the best wrestler in the world. Your son, he had that interaction in the ring. He might want to be a wrestler one day. He might become top WWE champion one day. And he might be able to play back to that memory. Hey, this is when I first fell in love with wrestling. And I came into the wrestling ring and I was able to party along with my friends. You want to give them those moments to give the next generation an opportunity to be impressed, to have an impression. That way you keep moving it and paying it forward, you know? That's what everything that we do in this life has to be for the next generation. It ain't about me. When I go out there, sure, I perform for me a little bit, but it's not about me at the end of the day. It's about my little brothers, my little sisters, my cousins, all the fans, the kids that are watching. It's about them and what they want to do with the rest of their lives. You never know who you can impact on a daily basis, so you got to do the best that you can to provide a good example for them and make moments that last a lifetime. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the reason why you are the superstar that who you are. You know, they don't understand the word superstar. They're stars, but there are superstars because you and many others are using the ultimate sacrifice to entertain the crowd, and you're sacrificing your bodies in doing so. So, and believe me, thank you, and that's why we are such a fan of professional wrestling. And you know, our primary show for our followers and everybody else know that we talk a lot about WWE, but you know, we've been also talking about Northeast wrestlings and other independent wrestling because technically, Joe, the godfather of signs, right? He even mentioned, he was like, yo, this is the cheapest tickets in the market because you get the same value in the independent scene that would you do on WWE or AEW.
Right.
You know, and these are our future stars. So why not support our future stars? Because Waves and Curls and everybody else in Northeast Rent all have potential to make it to the big screen. And we hope that you soon do it because you've already got the taste. We're going to talk about that too. But I also want to now go back to the championship because with all the hard work you've done and all the sacrifice, everything that you have said so far led you to that day against Club Cam for the tag team championship that happened at the Future Is Now, February 19th, 2022.
Yo, it's one of those things where it's a surreal feeling. Sometimes you'll have moments in your life where it feels like you're in a movie or having an outer body experience, and you're watching something from a what do you call it? Like you're a third person in the situation. Like you're not the person who's everything's going on. That day, you know, we were just thinking and meditating on, you know, how long it took to get to that place. Everything that we had to do, from ring crew, lifting up boards, setting up chairs, driving hours sometimes, all the way across different states. Every single thing that we did, we wanted to encapsulate that and feel that emotion, to know that we worked very, very hard to get to that point, to even contend for the tag team championships. There was a point we first came in, when we had our first match against Killinova Inc., where people probably wouldn't have never thought in 1,000 years that we would become the tag team champions. So many people who had doubted us, had said the way was already paid for us, had said that we would never earn those tag team championships. It was every naysayer. It was every positive speaker. It was every single thing that we had done to earn our way. It was overwhelming, you know, just to know that I took all the necessary steps. I did all the right things, and it led me here. It's something that I still struggle with finding the words to this day. And even holding the championship the way that we do and trying to carry a legacy and become the best Northeast Wrestling Tag Team Champions ever, it's still an unbelievable journey to know that we had the support of every single person in that arena that night too. It's like I'm still living a dream, like I'm still in a haze, and I never want to come down. And I want to do the best that we can to make sure every title defense that we have means something, and that we can give our all and lay it all on the line every single defense, because we want to be known as the fighting champions. Earning that championship was one of our wildest dreams, one of our biggest goals we had since day one. And now that we're here, words can't even express it. Words fall short because the people brought us there. The hard work brought us there. And we're going to do the best that we can to stay there at the top of the mountain, no matter what.
Well, you guys are definitely fighting tag team champions. You end up defeating the Brick City Boys and Battle Academy last Sunday.
Yeah.
But it just seems like every time that y'all become tag team champions, the odds are never in your favor.
Never.
Like you got a fatal four-way. You just had a triple threat match. The Jersey Boys didn't show up.
Right.
In defense of Ray Jazz, I know there was a double booking, but I'm like, where can we see, all right, Waves and Curls versus an opponent straight up 2-on-2? When can we see something like that?
We asking the same.
Everybody want a piece of you.
Everybody, all at once. You know, it's kind of on us too, because we're like, you know what? Bring everybody. We ain't scared of nobody. Come on.
Oh, okay. I see it now.
We hurt, you know. It's a little bit of both. It's like, hey, bring all challengers. Whoa. We didn't say all at once. Hold on. Wait a minute. Then we go, okay, you know what? Bring them all. So it's on us too. But we're gonna hopefully get a good 2-on-2 championship match with an up and coming tag team very soon. Hopefully, you know, it all comes into fruition. I heard there's some talks that Northeast Wrestling Management is having. So let's see.
I got my own talks here now.
Oh,
I've been saying my prediction and I have my top 10. But I know Hector got a lot of other questions here, but one more before I get into him is there's a certain tag team that's up and coming called Miracle Generation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They flying high. They almost resemble Waves and Curls.
Yeah.
Could we see a potential? I say potential. I can say potential. A potential 2-on-2, or will more people be jealous enough to try to get in there?
No, we can make that 2-on-2 happen. You know, Miracle Generation is an amazing young tag team. Caroline King, Dustin Flashwild, they're amazing. They're fast paced. They're high flying, great action, great strength, great agility, all the great things. And they, in some ways, remind me of Waves and Curls, and they remind me and call to that even next generation of tag team champions or tag teams after us, you know. But our time isn't up just yet. We still eating. You ain't gonna take food off my plate before I'm done.
You ain't lying about that.
It is what it is. So they can bring it on, you know. They can come and get some too. That's perfectly fine. They're still emerging. We're still emerging as well, dog. We're not giving up any inches to anybody, not even family. So we gonna do it up with Miracle Generation. That is absolute 100% gonna happen. And it's absolute 100% that we're gonna stay the tag team champions. Because like I said, we ain't done yet. What Mark Henry said before he retired, I got a lot left in the tank. And we about got a full tank still. So we're gonna make it happen with Miracle Generation for sure.
Yeah, because as much as I'm learning about Northeast Wrestling, I've noticed you guys had a lot of great success as a tag team in NEW. Who would you say was like your best opponents that you've worked with out of all the matches that y'all's had? I know whether it be 1-on-1, 3, 4 fatal 4-way, triple threat, it doesn't matter. Sure. Who do you say is your best tag team that you've actually worked against in that ring as Waves and Curls?
In Northeast Wrestling?
Yeah.
In Northeast Wrestling, I'd say the first team that comes to mind is Insanely Rude. That was our first tough challenge because they were the longest reigning tag team champions before they lost them. We had a great 8-man tag team going with them, Insanely Rude, Curls, and Waves. We were doing our thing. We were doing 8-man matches all the time, month in and month out, tearing the Bethany shows down. You were there. You saw.
Yep, I sure did.
Our tag team thing, and then they ultimately turned on us and stabbed us in the back. And then we went on a 2-on-2 match versus them. We went on to have a 2-on-2 match that didn't end up happening against them because we kept fighting like dogs and cats. And then we went on and had the tag team ladder match war, which is one of our favorite matches we've ever had, one of our toughest matches we've ever had, one of my favorite ladder matches I've participated in. So Insanely Rude really pushed us to that next level in Northeast Wrestling because they had already been to the top of the mountain. And they were like, hey, if you want to get to the top, you got to go through us. We respected it. We did our best to go through and face them. We came out on top, and that was our path to the Northeast Wrestling Tag Team Champions. So shout out to Artery Rude and Zane Bernardo, man, because they pushed us, but we pushed back.
I remember that match where you guys reached up and grabbed that contract for your chance to go against Club Cam. But what he left out was this turned out to be almost like chairs, tables, and ladder match. Yeah. Everything was in that ring. It started with just a ladder. That's all I'm gonna say. And then next thing you know, the Insanely Rudes, they ate the table. They were flying. Okay. But you guys were flying too, which is incredible because I never seen you guys with that much, and I didn't know you guys were capable of doing the same thing that they were doing. And that's what made it so fire. And I think that was one of the best storyline feuds in Northeast Wrestling, at least the time that I've been there. And then to move on to go against Club Cam, which really was almost like a handicap because Nikki Duke was the manager and she was always trying to get her way in to try to interfere to prevent you guys from winning.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, finally tag team champions, and you ended up I think it's 5 defenses already.
Yeah.
That you guys are successful.
Yeah.
And you guys got to continue to rock. I know it.
Thank you, man. We appreciate it. We love being Northeast Wrestling Tag Team Champions. We're fighting champions. We tell everybody all the time, if you want a piece of waves and curls, come and get you one. Any tag team, we like to pride ourselves on being able to mold to any tag team, you know. Whether you want to have a brawl, fine. You want to do weapons, fine. You want to straight up wrestle, fine. You want to high fly, fine. We can do anything that you want to and more. We're moldable. We can do everything. When we get in there, we're going to go.
Oh, you're going to go all right, because that also got you to AEW Dark.
That it did.
Now describe to us, what was that feeling like? What was that experience like being in AEW?
You know, being in AEW and doing those matches and going to WWE and being backstage over there. And then this past weekend, we were over at Ring of Honor backstage there. It's a great feeling knowing that all the hard work that you're doing on the independent scene, Northeast Wrestling, Beyond Wrestling, Limitless, Top Rope, is being noticed by the people in the higher ups. It gives you that motivation to kind of keep going and keep putting the pedal to the metal and applying the gas and not hitting on the brake. When we did the pandemic shows when there was no crowd, and then when we did the arena show against FTR, both were surreal feelings, but at the same time, it had felt like home once we got into the ring, if that makes sense. Like, oh yeah, we've done this before. We've done the song and dance. Everything that we've done has prepared us to get to where we are right here in this AEW ring. So now we can put on this show. Now we can show them what Waves and Curls is all about. Now we can go ahead and do the dance and do whatever we can to bring and elevate ourselves. So it's crazy when you're backstage eating a cheeseburger from catering and you look up and then there goes Sting walk by. And then you take another bite, you look down, you look up.
Oh man.
John Moxley right there. Okay, that's crazy. All right. You eat a little bite again, you look up right across from me at the table is Big Show sitting there. Hey, how you doing? You talking to me? Yeah, hey, how you doing? Oh, pleasure to meet you, sir. Absolutely, you know. It's wild being in the mix of those people, but at the same time, this is where I want to be. That's the table that I want to sit at. Whenever I get the opportunity, I want to talk to somebody and learn something from them, you know? So it's a surreal feeling, but we stay grounded in the fact that we want that to be our home, that it feels like home, and that we want to be there with them 24/7.
And is it wrestling superstars like that actually, actually made you want to get into the business when you was younger, or what was it that got you, so eager to want to get into a ring and do the bumps and stuff like that?
Yeah, my biggest hero growing up was Jeff Hardy, man. And it's crazy because I don't fly like Jeff Hardy do, but I do every once in a while. I try my best, come off the top rope. But he had like a magnetic personality that just attracted me towards him. That was my whole generation. Anybody in my generation, you asked them, Jeff Hardy and John Cena were the two guys. And they had that electricity that was intangible. You couldn't describe it, but you can feel it. And it's something that pulled me in and never left me. So I was like, I want to be like that when I grow up. My mom took me to a meet and greet one day, right after work. She was tired. She didn't want to go anywhere, but she took me to a meet and greet. Shout out to my mom once again because she did so much for me growing up. But she took me to the meet and greet, and I met the Hardy Boys. And then after I got my autograph signed by Matt and Jeff, I walked off the stage and I doubled back and I tapped Matt on the shoulder. And I looked at Jeff and I said, when I grow up, I want to be like you guys. I said, you can go ahead and do that. Just believe. Stuck with me. And I made sure I went and gone ahead and did that. The day I started training, I tweeted out a picture to Matt Hardy. Hey, here's the picture of me growing up. Here's the picture of me in the ring. I'm doing it. He said, keep going. I kept going. Backstage at WrestleFest 25. I introduced myself again. Hey, my name is Traevon. I met you when I was younger. I tweeted at you. I showed you these pictures. I said, I remember that. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing the good work. That's the kind of stuff that's driving me. That again harpers back to when your son was in the ring. I want to have those same impressions for people, so that way I can feed into the next generation and pour into them. That was what got me into wrestling. Jeff Hardy, come on, he had the armbands too.
Yeah, yes, he did.
Maybe that's why I dancing in too, because he did the dance, you know. So that just gravitated me into this crazy world of wrestling, and I can't imagine my life without it.
You know, and I like what you said. You know, it's so positive because you're trying to pay it forward to the young kids nowadays, and you want those kids that you had in the ring to one day tap you on the shoulder and say, "Hey, you remember me when I was younger and you brought me into the ring?" You know, and now you're the legend. You know what I'm saying? Now they're the up and comers. You know what I'm saying? And who's to say that two of those little kids one day might be in a match against the legendary Waves and Curls? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's exactly what it's doing. You know, and I love that about you, man. I appreciate that so much.
Much love, man. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. And that just brought to my mind, I never even thought about one day they facing me, you know?
Right. Keep mentioning Northeast Wrestling, but you also wrestle in different wrestling promotions. Wrestle Open. I got to see you wrestle there. Streaming on IWTV. Where else do you wrestle?
So we do Wrestling Open, as you have stated. Our mainstays over at Beyond Wrestling as well too. Top Rope Promotions out of Massachusetts. We go to Limitless Wrestling on occasion as well too, about every 3 months or so. We also are debuting for this company called ESW in New York. We've debuted for GCW, and we have some GCW return dates coming up very soon. We have also done Black Label Pro over in the Midwest. So, and we do Ironheart as well too. That's usually out in that Midwestern kind of area as well too. So we're all over the place nowadays. You know, we're traveling all the time. And Wrestle Rex in Pittsburgh. That's another one of our promotions as well too that we're spread over at.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it's getting bigger and bigger.
Bigger and bigger. The bookings keep on rolling in, and we keep packing up the suitcases and flying out. My back's hurting a whole lot from the plane rides and the car rides, but it's A-okay because I got a lot more miles in me. That's for sure.
And so one thing that we could be assured of as fans is that no matter what promotion you go to, you're going to be Waves and Curls, correct? And nothing's ever going to change from promotion to promotion. That's what I like.
Nothing's ever going to change.
That's what I like.
Waves and Curls are going to be Waves and Curls no matter what.
Yay.
That's
it. This shit ain't that bad, man. This shit ain't that bad.
No, it's not. It's fire.
You know, so what made y'all decide that you wanted to change and make it more, you know, when you realized it was out of date, you needed a new change?
The logo?
Right.
I mean, the logo's still the logo. That the shirt that you got, that's still our main logo. Like, it's on our gear. It's on our Twitter page and all that. But we do different, like, designs that kind of harken back to our childhood, our own personal nostalgia and fun. Like, we got the Hey Arnold t-shirt because we were watching Hey Arnold growing up.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I watched that, too.
Here because Monsters, Inc., that's my favorite Disney movie. So I was like, let's get the Monsters, Inc. gear. And also plays on us a little bit because I'm the tall guy, so I'm Sully. He's a short guy, so he's Michael Wazowski.
I never thought about that till now. Yes. And now it makes sense.
You have like the Calvin and Hobbes.
Yeah, we do have the Calvin and Hobbes.
Yeah, I love that cartoon strip. I love that one.
Yeah, that was my favorite cartoon strip growing up too. So,
but you also do have a single tee out for yourself, right? Which is you.
Yeah, that was my very first.
Before we started yeah, okay.
Yeah, with the Whitney Houston tribute shirt.
Right.
First t-shirt. Yeah.
Hey, you always got to start somewhere, right? That's okay.
Always.
But seriously, I am digging that Waves and Curls. It almost reminds you of a Star Wars type of look.
Oh, yeah. This one. Let me move my mic.
It did. Seriously, it really does, and I like it. I really do.
Thank you.
This was my first shirt that I bought, and I keep wearing it every time I work out. And I rotate with different Northeast Wrestling superstars, but each day I got a specific day which one I'm wearing. You know, all right, today I'm feeling Waves and Curls. Tomorrow is Wrecking Ball. The next day is somebody, and I just continue on. So it's like, you know, my motivation, so to speak.
I love that.
So
we just like having fun design. Anything that we think would be cool and that the fans are like, hey, let's just do that. Like, I think the next one we're gonna do is a Toy Story. So we're gonna do Toy Story shirt, Toy mandatory gear. Yeah, that's a little exclusive for y'all. So
he's wearing the cowboy hat. Trey's wearing the cowboy hat.
I am wearing the cowboy hat.
Jalen's gonna be the fork.
I gotta ask: is purple your favorite color? Because it's like purple is incorporated in every of your merchandise.
It is
even your ring gear. Yeah,
it is.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just asking. You know,
Oh, there's nothing wrong with purple.
And purple means royalty. So you know that's what Raising Curls is doing. Just royalty when you come into the ring as champs.
Purple just really looks good. It's not even. I think my favorite color is like olive green and mustard yellow. Those are my 2 favorite colors. But the purple is just nice. You know, it's just royalty, like you said. And that's also a tribute to our trainer, Matt Taven, because he does a lot of purple. So he put
he does. Yes, he does.
Yeah. Okay. You just brought up something there, Trey. Matt Taven.
Uh-oh.
Is there any rumor to it that you may step in the ring with him in a tag team match or something? I mean, is there something brewing there?
There's something brewing for sure.
Oh, Lord, the student versus teacher?
That's it. Student versus teacher.
All right.
That's right.
I don't know. I don't trust Matt Taven though, because he look, man, he did my boy wrong. So he used to be Pentagon Jr., but he changed his name to Penta Oscuro. And he tried to take his mask off, man. I was like, yo, why? Why would you do that? You know, so he'd be like, he always says he do whatever it is to get a win.
He will. Even if they're stomping on his own training sons, you know. We ain't gonna let that happen. He might have taught us.
You better know his tricks. You know, hey, as a teacher, I mean, I used to be a mentor too. I never gave him all my tricks. I only gave him the basics.
That's it.
You gotta learn. You gotta do some advanced training on your own.
You're right.
Do you think you got the total package on Matt Taven?
Absolutely now. Absolutely now. He taught us everything that we knew then. You know what I'm saying? But there's things that we've picked up on the way and had to learn and take those hard bumps by ourselves. There are things we know now that he doesn't know that we know.
There we go.
So he knows the work that he gave us, but he doesn't know what we picked up now. Now the waves and curls he's stepping in with, it's not the same waves and curls that he trained.
Ooh. Uh-oh. Stop stirring the pot. Stirring the pot. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, that's a soundbite right there for you. You can post that on Twitter and tag him in. Let him know.
Roger that. Affirmative. Making it happen right now. Ooh, he just said. It was so wonderful to talk to you, and it's always an honor and a privilege for anyone to be a special guest on the HHW show. But you, my friend, thank you so much. Like I said, and was the first. You and your partner are the first to really welcome us to Northeast Wrestling when we stepped foot in there in Waterbury, Connecticut, and Powell. And then it just kept on and on and on to Bethany, Connecticut. Dude, we travel, and I know Connecticut's small, but for my family, because we travel as a family, you know, going to Waterbury, to Bethany, to Danbury, you know, to follow you guys and others. It's one hell of a ride. To see you and Jalen grow is phenomenal, and congratulations to your success. And I can't wait till you guys take it to the next level.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. So sincerely means a lot. You were there since the beginning from Jump Street. Thank you for your family, for supporting us the way that you guys do, for riding for us as hard as you do. Every time that you guys show up to Northeast Wrestling, it always puts a smile on my face. I'm always glad to see you guys. It's like seeing family again for, you know, the first time after a few months from being away from it. You know what I'm saying? You guys travel to every single town for us, and we appreciate that, you know? And we're glad that we're able to perform for y'all and to do our thing in the ring for y'all, making memories for you and your family for years to talk about to come. That's what matters for the most, you know? You get to go home and talk about this with all your children. You get to talk about this with everybody in the household, you know? That's what matters the most. So thank you for your support, for your love. Thank you, Hector, for watching down there in the High Spots TV network. We appreciate that as well. When we get to Texas, you best believe we're going to knock on your door and we're going to bring you down to a show with us, because that's what it's all about. So thank y'all for having me on the podcast, and thank y'all for your time to let me come on and use your platform. I appreciate it.
I thank you so much, Trey, because, you know, even though your partner's not here with us tonight, but you are our first tag team, and not only that, you're our first tag team champions we've ever had, and that means a lot to us. Seriously.
All right. Also, glad to be on here for you. I wish I had Iris with me. That's my tag team championship belt. That's her name. But she's over there. She's over there.
See, now you got me thinking, because I got my title right there, and I'm trying to think of a name for it, and I never.
You got to give her a name. You got to give her a name.
I do, because I got it signed by Teddy Long, WWE Hall of Famer. So
okay.
I do have. So I got to give it a good name. Maybe Teddy. What do you think?
There you go. Teddy's a good name.
Teddy's a good name.
Teddy the title. There we go.
Teddy the title. There you go.
See, we got a tag team name, Obi, and my belt just got a name tonight.
There you go.
Trey. Man.
Yeah.
So we
Trey's the approving authority. Boom. There it is.
Put a stamp on it. Signed, sealed, delivered. Boom. In the mail.
Trey, you got the last words for our show. And once again, thank you for coming on to the HHW Show Podcast. And wish you the best of luck for your future endeavors in your wrestling career.
Thank you.
And the floor is yours, my man.
All right. Well, thank y'all so much for turning into the HHW Podcast. Like they say that at the top of the hour, my name is Traevon Jordan, one half of Waves and Curls, the Northeast Wrestling Tag Team Champions. I want to say to you and you who's listening to this, I want you to be thankful, be grateful, and make sure you pay it forward for everybody who's around you. Make sure you spread love as much as possible, and make sure that you do your best to keep your word and honor those around you. Fail forward and fail often. That's the key to success. Whenever you stumble and fall, make sure you pick yourself back up and get right back on that horse, because you can always conquer. It's mindset over matter. You can do whatever that you want to, whatever you want to achieve in this life. It is at your will. You can will it into existence. The only thing that's stopping you is you. So please take care of yourself, drink water, eat good food, call your mother, blow your nose, and make sure you take a bath or a shower tonight so that your body is nice and clean. Thank you for your time. I appreciate your ear. And last but not least, know that you matter. Take care. Lord bless.